Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we are going to get started with the Formula 2 2020 Championship. I've been putting this off for a while to get the first My Team season finished, but now that's over, we can get cracking with this. So in this series I'll be driving as Yuki Tsunoda in the Red Bull liveried Carlin, and we'll be hoping to get amongst it in the title fight as he did very impressively, I must say, in the real life season. Got a bit unlucky in, I think, the second last round, got a puncture after a bit of contact with Armstrong, but if it wasn't for that, I reckon he would have been right with Schumacher in the title fight come the final round. But yeah, didn't work out for him in Formula 2 in 2020, so we'll see if we can win the title for him in the game instead. Of course, he didn't need to win the title. He's moving up to Formula 1 anyway with AlphaTauri next year. So yeah, we'll see how this goes in this series. But yeah, hoping to obviously take the title in a spec series. It will always be very, very interesting to see how it all goes. But obviously, driving the Carlin, my teammate will be Jay and Daruvula in the other side of the garage. And of course, we'll also have the likes of Callum Ilott, Mick Schumacher, Nikita Mazepin, and all the other regulars, contenders in Formula 2 to battle with as well throughout the season. But we flick over to the Championship tab, and there it is, the 2020 FIA Formula 2 Championship, and we have a quick scroll through the cars. But yeah, we'll be driving, as I said, in the Red Bull liveried Carlin. But I love the look of these Formula 2 cars. Some of these liveries are really, really cool. The Charus car is awesome. But there we go, Yuki Tsunoda and Jay Daruvula. And I love Tsunoda's helmet too. Looks nice. But anyway, we will now get into qualifying. It says practice, but don't worry about that. Yeah, get into qualifying and see where we can start for this first race of the season. 4 points for pole position in Formula 2. So those qualifying sessions can be very, very valuable, and you also get 2 points for a faster lap instead of 1. So there's a few ways to get a few extra points throughout the season. So we'll see if we can grab the first points of the season here today as we get underway for our second flying lap in qualifying, and finding a little bit of improvement through the first couple of corners. Obviously, haven't driven the Formula 2 cars for a little while since the end of the kind of initial season of career mode in the Formula 2 cars, so it will take a little bit of time to get used to these cars once again, but we do quickly find some amount of pace. And yeah, we go up into second.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top three are Piquet, Lundgaard and Yuki Tsunoda. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the feature race tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
But yeah, we swiftly move on to the end of qualifying. We form an all-Japanese second row with Nobuharu Matsushita. But it's Pedro Piquet who takes the first pole position of the season. Well done, Pedro. That is a great effort from the Formula 2 rookie. As we scroll down through the order, Marino Sato, you're letting the team down there. The other two Japanese drivers up on the second row. You're down in last. What are you doing, mate? But anyway, ignoring that, we'll get into the race.
Welcome one and all to the 2020 Formula 2 World Championship, a new season and a new lineup of drivers hungry to make their mark on the world of motorsport. There's no development race to worry about here. Everyone's driving the same car. Who has the skill to stand out from the pack and stake their claim as the Formula 2 World Champion? Bahrain represents an exceptional 3.36 miles of racing. Lots of opportunities to overtake throughout its 15 corners. Now, this track has a reputation for being brutal on the rear tyres, so keep an eye on how these young drivers manage their rubber. Strategy here could ultimately determine the winner of this race. Davide, you're a three-time winner around here in 1 week, I believe, back in 2012. How on earth do you make the tyres last around this racetrack? They degrade so quickly.
To be honest, the key to the race is having a good start so you can get your car into a good position. Then save the tires as much as you can and push just at the end.
Well then, after an exciting session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. A fantastic effort from Pedro Piquet yesterday puts him on pole position, with Christian Lundgaard alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Matsushita, Giuliano Alesi, and Schumacher, Daruvala, Giotto, Mazepin, Daniel Ticktum, Eilert, Markelot, Felipe Dragovic, and Armstrong, Nissany, Samaya, Aitken, and Louis Delatraz, Schwartzman and Sean Galeo, Joe, and Marino Sato completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So here we are on the grid then for the first round of the season. The strategy in Formula 2 will almost always be the same. And yeah, it'll just be the softer compound to the hards in most cases in the feature race. But we've got the 5 red lights and away we go immediately for the first round of the season. A lot of wheel spin off the line, not a great start for us, and we immediately are overtaken by Matsushita as we head down towards the first corner. We're going to see if we can find some space around the outside. PK has lost the lead, which has been taken now by Christian Lundgaard, the Danish driver, getting up to the first position. PK manages to hold on to second. The 3 rookies in first, second and third as we go around the outside of PK. Not going to be able to make a move there though, and we managed to hold on to third position, staying ahead of the experienced Nobuharu Matsushita behind us as we have a little look around to the left there, but no move to be made in this part of the track. Down the inside though, very optimistic there, and we do manage to get the car stopped, turned and accelerate out of the corner smoothly and get ahead of Pedro Piquet, and that was a nice move there on the Brazilian, and we found our way up into second position. Now can we chase after Christian Lundgaard in the coming corners in the next few laps and see if we can close that gap to the Dane and yeah, get up into the lead in this first round of the season. And well, that was a bit understeery through there, but we are gaining on Lundgaard. You can see visibly getting closer through these corners. I've always been good through those 2 corners, especially in the Formula 2 cars, so I'm not sure if they're a little bit struggling for some tie attempts in these early phases. Given the way we're able to overtake PK, that could be possible, but we continue on and we go for a big lunge down the inside of Lundgaard. That's not going to work out for us. Lundgaard locks up, and we're just going to have to go at it again on another lap. We lost a bit of time there on the apex, so yeah, we'll have to collect ourselves and try again later. So here we go then, another lock up for Lundgaard there as we continue to put the pressure on. We're still only 4 laps into this race. There's a long way to go, but we are not letting up just yet as Lundgaard locks up again. Really feeling the pressure is the Danish driver in the ART. We get the DRS, so we're going to see if we can make a move into turn 11, and we might actually get there down the inside of Christian Lundgaard, and we make the move stick on the Dane, and up into the lead of the race we go. And that was actually a pretty nice move there. A little bit wide on the next right-hander, washes off the track a bit, but not too much to be concerned about there. So yeah, we've got the lead of the race now. We're just going to see if we can push away from Christian Lundgaard, see if we can set some fastest laps. But as we continue on, we make a big mistake at the hairpin. A lot of wheel spin coming out of it, and that really upsets the car. Terrible run out of the corner, and Lundgaard gets the position back there, unfortunately for us. So after all that work getting past him, we need to do it all again now as we head up the hill. But you can see really great traction out of turn 11. I don't know what we're doing differently or what they're lacking, but for some reason we are just so strong through that part of the circuit. It doesn't matter even if we are off the racing line a bit, but yeah, if we can stay close to Lundgaard, we should be able to make a move very soon. We move on to the very next lap, down the inside into the first corner. Lundgaard leaves the space, and a lot of wheel spin there on the exit. We lose control of the back end there, and cut off Lundgaard a bit on the entry to turn 2, but thankfully no contact was made. And here is the onboard from Lundgaard. Good job to see us coming there. We got ahead, and there's some loss at the back end as we put a bit too much power down, but we were able to maintain control of the car, unlike right now as we go deep into turn 10 once again. and Lundgaard is going to have a run here as we try and see where he is so we can rejoin the track. And we're side by side as we head towards turn 11, and Lundgaard is going to make the move stick down the inside, and he is going to retake the lead of the feature race here in Bahrain. So it's a backwards and forward scrap between us. We have the pace, but we just keep making mistakes at turn 10, and yeah, it's really starting to be costly. We need to get into the lead, start pulling away, and trying to set fastest laps, but it isn't really happening for us. We move on again, and we're going to up the inside again, now into turn 4 this time of Lundgaard, and we'll try and squeeze through on the inside. We've got the move done. We've spun on the exit though, and we've just about avoided the barrier, which is having a seizure on the side there, but that is an absolute disaster for us. Lundgaard's been let off the hook. Here's the onboard from Felipe Drugovich behind, and sorry, Matsushita behind the other MP car, and yeah, we just lost the back end while we were fighting with Lundgaard there. So yeah, that's not great. It's not great, but we'll fight on. We've dropped down now into 9th position in this race. Cars are making pit stops, so we're going to follow them in and make our one and only stop of this race on this lap onto the harder of the two compounds available this weekend, and we should be able to get out in, I think, the position we were in.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
So yeah, we're 9th before we stop. We'll have to wait for everyone else to make their stops before we find out where we truly re-emerge, but right now we are down the order in 15th, so hopefully we grab a few of those positions back as we weave around to try and warm up these tyres. No tyre blankets in Formula 2, so the undercut is really not as viable as it is in the Formula 1 cars. So we move on as we continue, and now everyone else has made their final stops around the outside of Dan Ticktum, and we make the move stick through turn 2 and move ourselves up into 11th position. So we've lost positions due to the strategy there. So that's what I mean about the overcut potentially being more powerful, because the tyres are just in a better window still. But yeah, we've got an issue here for Louis Delatraz. He's going to retire from the race with a mechanical failure, and that is actually going to bring out the safety car, the full safety car.
Is in this lap.
But yeah, safety car swiftly goes in, and we get back underway with racing, and we go down the inside of Jack Aitken, and also we might battle away here with Nikita Mazepin. We don't quite get that one, as it's very tricky, pinched on the inside there to get the power down, and Mazepin is going to hold on, but we did get the move done on Jack Aitken, who's going to come back at us now. Down the inside towards turn 4 goes the Anglo-Korean driver, and he's going to get through there as we continue to fight though. Around the outside, we might just be able to hold on here. It's going to be very tricky through these next few corners to hold it side by side, but we might just manage to get ahead here, and we do get back in front of Aitken, but he certainly did not give up without a fight there, and we do thankfully finally get clear of Aitken and up into the top 10 positions. Next target is Nikita Mazepin, but Aitken is actually down the inside here as we head into turn 10. Great move by Aitken to get the car alongside there, and he's actually made it work, and he is ahead as we head towards turn 11. We're trying to squeeze into the inside. He's having none of it, so we're going to have to try and make the move on the outside line. We don't really have the presence on the outside there to go for that move. We switch it back though, up the inside of turn 11, round the outside of turn 12, and we manage to sweep around and take that position, and back up into 10th. Great battling there with Jack Aitken, and now we can switch our attention forward once again to Nikita Mazepin. So let's see if we can chase down the Russian driver, and we do that and swiftly close the gap up the inside, and just about get through there before he has a chance to defend the line into turn 4.
Good job, nice overtake.
And we move ourselves up into 9th position. Next up is a battle between a Schumacher and a PK. So we didn't really see that in real life. They tended to be at opposite ends of the field, but right now in the game, Schumacher to the outside of PK. PK holds on for the time being. We're trying to switch it around the outside and get a nice flowing run onto the next straight, but Schumacher very compromised on the entry there, and we don't really get the chance to get a run on Schumacher there, so we just have to be patient. But we'll go for a move up the inside anyway into turn 4, and we'll just get through on Schumacher there, and now we can try and chase down PK and the rest of the group up ahead. It seems like PK doesn't have a lot of pace at the moment. There's a big air gap in front of PK to get up to Luca Giotto. So as we continue on, we will try and close that gap. But yeah, we need to first clear PK. But right now, Schumacher is actually coming back at us as we head along the main straight. He's steaming past. He's got so much straight line speed there. He got a great exit out of the final corner. And Schumacher is back through. We try and re-overtake him though, around the outside into turn 1. We pinch him to the apex and we get the nose in and to turn 2, and we'll get that move done and get back ahead of Mick Schumacher. Great battling, and now Mazepin is getting alongside, and he'll get past Mick Schumacher as well. So Schumacher compromised through the first couple of corners and lost a lot of exit speed. Mazepin was able to take advantage of that, and now again we can look forward to Pedro PK. So closing up now to the back of the Brazilian. We go to the inside, switch to the outside as we head towards turn 1, and we'll make the move around the outside of PK, and we should be able to get through on the inside of turn 2, make that move pretty easily, and we find ourselves up in P7 at this point. But PK coming back at us. He's got some good straight line speed on the exit there. We were a bit compromised because we had the narrow entry. We leave the space on the inside. PK takes full advantage of it, and he's going to get through there back on the inside line. We still run side by side. We'll just about make the move around the outside of PK and move ourselves back up into 7th. PK, a bit of contact there on the exit, but I don't think that caused any damage, but if so, there's not really a lot we could have done about that. PK just drove into the side of us on the exit, so yeah, not really our fault. He just kind of drove into the left rear. But anyway, we move on, and we need to try and chase down the next group of cars, which is currently tail-ended.
Giotto ahead, gap to car in front is 4.6 seconds.
By Giotto, and we do eventually catch up to the Italian in the leading high-tech of this current race, and we are on lap 26 of 32, so not long to go left in this one, but there is still plenty of time to make a few more overtakes. Fastest lap for us there as well, as we go for the move down the inside of Giotto. He defends a little bit, but he can't stop us from getting the move done down the inside, and we'll make that stick through turn 2, 3, and we're up into what is now 6th position. Next up is Giuliano Alesi in HWA Race Lab, and we'll see if we can get the move done on the exit of turn 11. Alesi very slow there, and wow, that was surprisingly easy overtake on Alesi. I'm not really sure what on earth he was doing, but he was very, very slow through that portion of track. And yeah, we did certainly make that look easy, but as we continue on, Alesi will try and come back at us around the outside into the first corner, but we will hold the inside line and be able to maintain this position ahead of Alesi. And a little bit of a missed apex there through turn 2 that might give Alesi another opportunity as we head up towards turn 4, and he's going to have a look to the inside. We might have to leave the space here as we head towards turn 4. We will not leave the space on the inside. He didn't quite get there, and the radio isn't working. But we move on now to the very end of the race. We weren't able to catch up to the next group of cars. Christian Lundgaard wins the opening race of the season. Great drive by him. We're going to come across the line to finish in a pretty handy P5.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
I ain't too disappointed with that after the spin. I think that's almost the most we could have gotten out of this one. So yeah, pretty happy.
So another fantastic victory for ART today. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
It was all about being in the right place at the right time. If the safety car hadn't come out and bunched everybody up, I think we could have been looking at a very different result today.
ART, the French team who have been racing since the 90s in various forms of motorsport, are once again back on the winner's podium today after a brilliant display of driving skill.
So it is Christian Lundgaard who takes his very first race win in Formula 2 in his first race in his debut season. It will be Nobuharu Matsushita finishing up in P2 with the Ruvela third on debut as well.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Christian Lundgaard takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
It's got to be Artem Markelov. He was fast, decisive, everything you want from a top-class driver.
And now a look at the team standings. Carlin moved to the top of the table. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
It was a good drive from Artem Markelov. In that race, P12 to P4 is nothing to laugh about. But yeah, for us, we started up in third position. Didn't end up working out for us with the spin, but you know, it will take a bit to get used to these cars again. I actually turned traction control off a few laps into that race. I actually had it on medium, which is what I usually run, but I actually found these cars much more enjoyable with the traction control off, so I think I will stick with that for the rest of the season, to not run any traction control, because they don't really need it too much. Obviously, if you just control the throttle a little bit, they are just fine without it. But yeah, a little bit disappointing that we couldn't fight for the win after the spin, but again, that I can only blame myself for that, and yeah, yeah, oh well. But yeah, we were able to come back through the field pretty well. We got through, I don't know, maybe around half the traffic, you know, to get back to where we were. So it's not a terrible result, and there's still a long season left to go. We'll try and hopefully win the sprint race and get some points back that way, because you know, we did lose a lot of points, but it's very early to be looking at the championship picture in only the first race of the season. We don't even know who our main rivals are going to be at this point. Is this going to be just a lucky race for Lundgaard, or is he going to go and win half the races in the season? We don't know, but I guess that is the excitement of a new season, a new series, and yeah, we'll see how it plays out. We've obviously yeah, still got the sprint race to do, and we'll yeah, try and make up for the mistakes in the sprint race. So yeah, we'll now get into that.
Welcome one and all to the 2020 Formula 2 World Championship, a new season and a new lineup of drivers hungry to make their mark on the world of motorsport. There's no development race to worry about here, everyone's driving the same car. Who has the skill to stand out from the pack and stake their claim as the Formula 2 World Champion? Alongside me in the commentary box today is, of course, former GP2 champion Davide Valsecchi. How does this current crop of drivers compare to your days in the sport?
Well, obviously, the championship I won was the most competitive in the history. But no, really, the drivers we have in the race today are just of an unbelievable quality. The top teams in Formula 1 know that these are the next generation of world champions, and you will see some of that quality for sure today.
So we go straight on now to the 5 red lights for the sprint race. No pit stops in this one. It is a straight fight to the end, and we get underway for the sprint race here in Bahrain. And it's a good start there for the HWA of Alesi, and he's going to try and make the move around the outside into the first corner to gain a few positions there. We try and get around the outside as well to gain some spots after a bad start, and we've made our way up to third position. A great start there by Alesi too to get up into second, but this time PK manages to hold the lead from reverse grid pole, and he will be absolutely loving life compared to the last start where he was immediately overtaken by Christian Lundgaard. But we'll see now if we can overtake Alesi in the early stages of this race. We're really close. We seem to be very strong on the opening lap or two, and we'll see if we can make the move. We're going to have a look to the outside of Alesi as we head through turn 8. Not going to work out for us there. Alesi is going to hold on, and that is a decent start for us, though nonetheless to immediately clear a few cars off the start line, especially after the initial launch wasn't very good. But yeah, we are chasing down Alesi as we head through this first lap. We're in a bit of a HWA race lap sandwich, but we're going to go up the inside of Alesi into turn 11, barge our way through there as Alesi did not see us coming, but we've made the move stick on the Frenchman, and now we can chase down the Brazilian in that awesome looking Charouz car. I really like the look of that thing. I might have to do some video in that car at some point, but anyway, we will yeah, now try and chase down PK for the race lead, and then try to just extend the gap and see if we can win this race with hopefully a fastest lap as well to get some of those points back.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
From the feature race. So yeah, we just need to try and close the gap. We actually get very close there under brakes. We really have a pace advantage over PK. We go for a very wide line as we head towards turn 4, and we'll see if we can make the move on PK. We go to the inside, he defends, we shoot back to the outside, round the outside of PK, and we should be able to just be nice and smooth through here, not spin, and we'll take the lead of the Bahrain sprint race. There's the replay of the move, nice and easy around the outside. Bit of contact actually there with PK, but there wasn't really too much I could do to avoid that. PK just was, I think, understeering a bit there, and it was a great save actually by PK to keep it going in a straight line. And yeah, I think though he may have potentially got a bit of damage because he's dropped out of the top 5, so he might have had to box after that, I'm not sure. But yeah, unfortunate there for PK. He was doing a good job in this race, but it hasn't worked out for him this time. But the virtual safety car comes out, and that is because Marino Sato retires from the race with a mechanical failure. Not a great first round for the Japanese driver, and he will not finish the Bahrain sprint race, unfortunately.
VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
But that was about halfway through the race when that happened, and we're still not a lot happened in that intervening time, and not a moment after the VSE was ended, Felipe Drugovich retired from the race with a mechanical failure as well. So unreliability starting to come into effect as Drugovich gives a bit of a bump there to Marcus Armstrong as the New Zealand Australian goes past. But yeah, no VSC for Felipe Drugovich. But we move on now to lap 17, and still not a lot happening in this race, honestly. We've just been cruising out in front and just trying to maintain the lead and trying to maintain the fastest lap to get those extra 2 bonus points in this race. So that's really what we're pushing for, to make sure we can maintain that fastest lap. But yeah, right now we're in the lead. Alesi is second and Markolov is third, so it's a great day for HWA. But as we continue through the race, we continue to set more and more fastest laps in this Grand Prix. But now Markolov with the fastest lap. So the Russian in the HWA putting in some good laps towards the end, and he's actually catching up to us. So we might have been falling asleep a little bit on that lap.
Leading the pack, P1 Markolov is behind you. Our gap behind is 6.5 seconds. They're on old hards.
But we've got the gap out to Markolov, so he won't really be able to catch us. But we need to get our act together on what is now the final lap of the feature race here in Bahrain, and we need to get a good lap together here to try and retake those 2 points for the fastest lap. Otherwise Markolov will be stealing those from us. So it's purple first sector, so it's a perfect start to this lap, and we're just trying to be nice and smooth through all this section. It seems to be the key to these Formula 2 cars. You can't be too aggressive, and you can't really use the curbs too much. You definitely can't accelerate on the curbs, or they will hate you. So we come around through turn 10 very nicely through turn 10 actually, compared to some other laps. We've really been losing out in the middle sector, so it'll be interesting to see if we can go purple this time around. But right now Markolov still has that purple ribbon on his name, so we need to make sure we get the rest of this lap just about perfect. Using the curb there on the inside, always a bit of a risk, a little bit shallow into the third to last corner, but it is a purple middle sector, so we are gaining significantly on the previous laps, and we might just be able to take the fastest lap here as we head around the final corner, and we are going to win the Bahrain sprint race. But will we be able to take the fastest lap as well? We're going to pay close attention to the top left because we will see it for a split second there. We do take the fastest lap as well as the race win.
Congratulations.
And that is a perfect way to bounce back after the sprint race. It may have been a little bit boring to lead the entire way from the first couple of laps, but it's what you take.
Carlin have pulled off a sublime performance to secure the top step of the podium today. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
I think this race was won thanks to the tire management. You have to remember, it's not just about going as fast as you can, it's about consistency. It's about maintaining your speed over an entire race distance. So being able to keep the lap time competitive while still respecting the tires, that's where they won today.
And there you have it, today's winners. Having raced some of the biggest names in F1 to date, Carlin have once again shown their expertise when it comes to recruiting new talent. No doubt today's winners have a bright future ahead of them. They certainly deserve it after today's performance.
So we take the race win today in sprint race in Bahrain. Great drive by Artem Markelov to finish in P2, and Giuliano Aleti will finish third to make it a double podium.
After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the Drivers' table. Yuki Tsunoda takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
Difficult call, but I say Guilherme Samaya. He was committed the entire race, and it's paid off with the result. Difficult call, but I say Yuki Tsunoda. He was committed the entire race, and it's paid off with the result.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Teams' Championship. Carlin moved to the top of the table.
The official driver of the day also did a fantastic job, but I have to vote with my heart, and today I have to go in a different direction.
There will be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you'll join us at the next race when Formula 2 returns.
Okay, Davide. I'm not sure you got some of those pronunciations right, or why you gave two drivers of the day. But anyway, apparently it's Guilherme Samaya. Anyway, very happy with that race. Obviously, a bit of a boring one, not a lot happening in terms of action, but at the end of the day, as I was failing to say at the end there, you take wins anyway, you can get them, and yeah, this one was a relatively easy one, but that's a great thing about Formula 2. You know, one race, even if one race is a little bit of a boring one, you can guarantee the other one certainly won't be. You know, you could lead the feature race, that could be a boring one, but in the sprint race you're going to start in the pack, or vice versa in this case, and that's exactly what happened this time around. We had all the action in the first race, and in the second one it was fairly smooth sailing. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to get back into the Formula 2 cars. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season. We do leave the Bahrain round in the lead of the championship, but there is still plenty more action left to play out. Next up is Zandvoort. That will be a very challenging track in the Formula 2 cars, so really looking forward to getting into that one as well. So other than that, not too much else left to cover, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time when we move on to the round in the Netherlands. So thanks for watching, I'll see you next time, goodbye.